Hi friends, Amitabh Elliott here. I just wanted to make a quick little video about insomnia and let you know that I've actually been experiencing major insomnia the past month and a half or so, and what I've done that seems to have cured it. Finally able to get some sleep, and it's so amazing to get a full night's sleep without waking up like every single hour. So for about the last month and a half or longer, I've been having a terrible time getting to sleep at night. It's just I'm so wired, and then when I do finally get to sleep, I wake up like every hour, every couple of hours, sometimes 6 times a night, 3 times a night, 3 to 6 times a night. And when I do wake up, I'm just so incredibly wired, and so what I've done is, and I'll tell you what I've done, and then I'll tell you some of the other possible reasons. I'll tell you why this has happened for me, and why some reasons it might be happening for you, and what you can do. What I've done is I've added in about 30 minutes before bed, I'll eat about 6 to 8 Brazil nuts. And what that does is, because I haven't been eating sufficient calories and getting sufficient proteins and fats in my diet, what it does is it gives my brain sufficient and steady supply of calories throughout the night. Because what's been happening, from the best of my analysis, I guess, is that my brain has been starving at night, and when it runs out of energy, the adrenals get stressed, and then it releases adrenaline, and then I'm just boing, awake, and I'm not going to sleep anytime soon. And so that's what's been happening. And so by supplying my brain with a steady stream of energy, it doesn't need to wake up and feel like it's under threat. Like the body is under threat. It's in danger because it's run out of energy. You need energy to live, even while you're sleeping. And so, just going to switch arms here. It's getting hard to hold this. So, I've done that, and it's really, really helping. 3 nights in a row, I've gotten slept all the way through. I think I woke up once 2 of the nights, which, believe me, waking up once, and I was able to get back to sleep. Waking up only once is a real blessing, and if you have insomnia, you probably know. Wow, I only woke up once? That's great. So 2 out of the 3 nights I woke up once, and the one night I slept all the way through. So the reason for insomnia in my case is from adrenal fatigue. I've been recovering from adrenal fatigue. I am recovering from adrenal fatigue. And so I have to work at making sure I get enough calories. As in my life, I've just not really paid attention to my eating. I put out a video yesterday talking about some of the reasons. I used to have mild anorexia, and I used to starve myself, and so I sort of got in the habit of not eating. And I had digestive distress, and so I would eat less because it would cause less digestive problems. But this has put a real tax on my adrenals long term. So it's come to this. First time in my life, I used to be able to sleep the whole night through, no problem, like a log, and it'd be impossible to wake me up, in fact. And then to go to this, to go to like being able to wake up so easily and so many times and be so wakeful, and it almost has become a cause of stress. Like I can't sleep. And so the nuts have really, really helped, and I would suggest trying that if you're going to eat other nuts than Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts you don't need to soak, but if you're going to eat almonds or walnuts, you're going to want to soak them for a couple of hours at least, preferably like 6 hours or something, in water, and that will release the enzyme, and then rinse them. That'll release the enzyme inhibitors from the coating, the brown coating shell, and so that you can properly digest them. and also will activate the enzymes. So there's that. Now let's talk about some of the other possible reasons you might be experiencing adrenal insomnia. So there's adrenal fatigue, and if you have adrenal issues, you're going to want to really look at rebuilding your adrenals through eating consistently throughout the day, getting enough sleep, which isn't ironic because it could be causing insomnia. And some key supplements like Siberian ginseng, ashwagandha. You want to have a steady stream of minerals throughout the day, and everybody needs this, regardless of whether they have adrenal insufficiency. So taking a green supplement, I take a green supplement every day, which I'm all out of right now and have to get some more. I'll take a few chlorella tablets throughout the day, a kelp tablet throughout the day, and spread it out so that my body's constantly getting minerals, because the body's not very good at absorbing minerals. It's great at absorbing fats and proteins and carbohydrates, but minerals, in the past, the body hasn't needed to be good at absorbing minerals because we were always grazing, eating a lot of greens and raw fruits and vegetables. But now, a lot of people are eating a lot of processed foods, not fresh foods, cooked foods, and the minerals are all gone from that. And so, let me turn the light on here for you. So, it's important that we get a steady stream of minerals in our diet. And so, there is that. So what are some of the other potential causes for insomnia? The number one, I would say, probably is thinking. We're overthinking. And this is where meditation can really help. So when we have racing thoughts all the time, worries, stress, concerns, and even desires and wanting to achieve things that can keep us up, because the mind is just racing and racing and racing and going, and it's just dragging us behind it. So if we do a little meditation before bed, that can really help. That reduces stress levels, lowers your blood pressure, and can clear your mind from excessive thinking. And I have some videos on that also. Post one right here about how to meditate. In fact, I'll post two. I'll post another one right here. And so you can check those out if you want to learn how to meditate. That will help with not only sleep, but just peace of mind in general. And so there's thinking, there's your adrenals. What else could be causing insomnia? Those are the major two that I can think of off the top. And caffeine, of course. If you're eating caffeine or taking caffeine and chocolate, coffees, to give yourself energy, it's really going to mess up your ability to get to sleep. And not just because it's a stimulant, but because it also taxes the adrenals and can cause adrenal insufficiency. So you could be masking adrenal fatigue with caffeine. And so we really have to be careful with that. And I know a lot of people that get on the raw food diet, might be some people that watch my channel, they're really into the cacao, and they say it has so many health benefits, but this whole nation is hooked on chocolate, caffeine. Caffeine is a drug, and chocolate is very, very dangerous because it tastes so good, and there's so many purported health benefits, and there may be some health benefits, but I'll post I'll post a link below to Dr. Tell Oren, Dr. T&3. He's really intelligent, and I really trust this guy. If I had to have a medical doctor, he's the only guy I would trust, and one of the only ones. And he talks about how cacao and chocolate and caffeine is an excitotoxin, and so it's a toxin for our brain. And so the reason why we get the rush is because it's a toxin, and the body is trying desperately to get rid of this toxin. It's a real harmful toxin. And so the body speeds up, raises your blood pressure, and gets everything flowing faster so you feel more energy. But in the end, it's to get a toxin out. It's just like when you drink alcohol. You drink red wine and you feel that flush, that high. You feel really good. That's because your body's trying to get rid of this toxin. Alcohol, it's a poison. And so whenever we put poisons in our body, the body's going to rev up to try to get rid of it. That's the same reason why when you get the flu or a virus, you get a fever, your temperature goes up, because your body's trying to raise the temperature, raise your circulation, your blood pressure. It's trying to expel everything to clean the house. So I would be really careful with caffeine and chocolate, and try to get energy from real positive, good sources, real whole food sources like fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. And don't go too heavy on the nuts and seeds. You don't want to go too heavy on fats, because that can clog up and clog up your system. And when you eat too much fats, what it does is it puts a coating around your cells, and then the cells can't get anything in and out. And so what happens is they just become so solidified that the coating around the cells, which is made of fats, among other things, becomes so thick that nutrients can't get in, and more importantly, toxins can't get out. They're both equally important. And so what happens is eventually you get this explosion of toxins rushing out because they've been stuck inside the cell from eating too high a fat diet. But within moderation, a moderate amount of fat is good for you, especially if it comes from good sources like nuts and seeds, avocados. So you might eat an avocado, eat a half of an avocado or something 30 minutes before bed, and that might help you. And meditate, so you might eat some nuts and meditate for 20 minutes and then go to bed. And the other thing is important is turning off your screens at night. And we all have these cell phones and iPods and tablets and laptops, and we're always on them. And believe me, I'm brutal too. But the thing I've started doing is to be conscious about keeping bright lights, avoiding keeping bright lights in my face late at night, and try to stop using the cell phone so much, at least in the 30 minutes before I go to bed, and not having that, especially if you have the lights out and you're using your cell phone or your tablet or whatever, or your laptop, because if the lights are out, your pupils are going to be dilated, and they're going to be more sensitive to light, and then you have this headlight blazing you in the face, and so it's like you're really absorbing a lot of light when really you want to shut down, slow down. The sun has gone down already, and so that's a signal for the body to get into rest mode. And so if we have these lights in our face, that can contribute to insomnia, because we're saying it's time to wake up. This is the sun. The sun is our nature's alarm clock. And so if we're keeping these lights in our face all the time late at night, we're artificially stimulating the brain to say that the sun is up and it's time to wake up. So avoid the caffeine, avoid the bright lights, and try to incorporate some fats and high protein late at night. I don't recommend animal products. I recommend nuts and seeds, and possibly avocados. Lentils would be a good source also, so you could eat a small bowl of lentils 30 minutes before bed. And you don't want to, of course, overeat before bed, because then your stomach's going to be full. But if you eat 30 minutes before, it'll give your stomach a chance to evacuate. And the problem with animal products, although I don't think they're good overall, is they take so much longer to digest than, say, Brazil nuts. In 30 minutes, Brazil nuts could be largely digested, but if you eat, some beef or something, or fish or chicken or anything like that, it's going to take hours and hours and hours in your stomach to digest and to extract that protein. In nuts and seeds, it's already in amino acid form, and you can absorb it right away, so you don't have to go through that other step of extrapolating the amino acids from the proteins. So I love you. I hope this has helped. Insomnia can be a real big issue. I didn't realize, because I've never experienced it my whole life. And The other thing I want to mention is that you might try if this doesn't work for you, or you might add also, is an adrenal cocktail. And I'll put a link below to that so that you can, or I'll just put the ingredients below so that you can know how to make it. And it's with cream of tartar and sea salt or Himalayan salt and orange juice. And I've tried that, and it really, for me, it didn't really work. But it might work for you. Apparently, it's working for a lot of people with adrenal issues. And so I think the main thing for me, though, was that my brain wasn't getting sufficient energy. And so it was releasing adrenaline to wake myself up and get some food, you know. So I love you. Hopefully you have success in healing your insomnia and can get some sleep.